I'm gonna cook for my family using only this book. Cheers. Stick around to see what we think.
Tastes like the inside of an egg roll.
Has no flavor.
That's so good.
It smells almondy.
Not worth making.
It is worth making.
The sauce is really good.
Thank you.
It's too
Yeah,
spicy.
it's an F.
That's delicious. But would I make it again?
The answer is no.
Apparently the answer is no.
Whoa. Oops.
Greetings and welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel, we focus on all things plant-based goodness. And today we are eating exclusively from BOSH Healthy Vegan. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't super familiar with BOSH, even though I know a lot of you have told me to check them out in the comments down below. So we're finally getting around to it. What's interesting about this book of theirs is when you read the intro, it talks about how they didn't necessarily start off healthy vegan, hence why they're making this book. And how after a while they realized they were putting on the pounds from recipe testing, things like burgers and pizzas over and over again, lasagnas. And so it led them down a path towards, let's be honest, how we eat around here on this channel. Dink. So this one is definitely far more up my alley. I imagine it will require less swaps than probably any of their other books. That said, it's still not whole food plant-based. My quick skim of this let me know that they are definitely not oil-free. There's the typical stuff in here like why you should eat plants, how to be healthy, all that kind of stuff that you'll see in like 90% of plant-based cookbooks. And the chapters are pretty cool and different. Lighter, greener, heartier, but then it just says treats and breakfasts. So they kind of ran out of additional fun things. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's gonna be interesting. I know a lot of you have spoken very highly of it. And so we've got at least 6 recipes coming your way in this review. And stick around to the end where I tell you whether or not you should borrow, buy, or bypass this book altogether. Before we get to that, a little housekeeping. A little while back, we ran a t-shirt contest for our subscribers, and we're getting ready to do so again. You can buy them in our merch store, like this baseball shirt, which is like, I think my favorite of our shirts. So those shirts that were part of our last t-shirt contest are going to be discontinued probably at the end of October, if not early November, because we want to make way for a bunch of new t-shirts for potential gifts and yourself for over the holiday season. So what I want you to do is if you have an idea for a t-shirt for us, let us know in the comments down below, and that's all you need to do to enter the contest. And then I'll sit down with the PB with Jay family and we'll decide which of the new designs we like. We're not going to put a number on it. We're going to pick as many as we like that we think would make good shirts. And if we pick your design, you will get a free version of it. For those that are unfamiliar with our review process, we do the tiered system that is popular here on the internet. S means superb. It is for dishes that we absolutely want to have again as soon as possible. A is for dishes that we like and we definitely want to have again sometime in the rotation. B means we didn't love it, we didn't hate it. If someone else wanted it again, we'd happily eat it. C means it's not so bad that I won't finish it, but I don't want this again. And then F is just a straight up fail. It means I'm heading to the kitchen and eating leftovers or scrounging something together. Now, before we jump into the review itself, I'd like to say hello to some of you who've said hello to us in the comments down below. Jamie from Columbia, South Carolina. Jeff and Liz from Bend, Oregon. Agata from Warsaw, Poland. Julie from Omaha, Nebraska. Joel in New Knoxville, Ohio. Shauna from Singapore. Jenny from Blue Mountain. You didn't say where Blue Mountain was. I'm going to assume it's Blue Mountain, Ontario, which is the province with which I live. And if it's not, that's too bad. You're seeing Ontario imagery here. Lori from Portland, Oregon. Jenny from Georgia. Laura from Meridian, Idaho. Zaza from Lyon, France. Sherry from Chico, California. And Sue from Rockford, Illinois. If you'd like a shout out here on the channel, all you have to do is say hello to us in the comments down below. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and tell us something cool about where you live or something you do. Give us a little something to add to these shout outs. If at any point in this video you find yourself interested in buying this book, we got the link in the description down below. Getting it from there helps us out here on the channel. All right, to the recipes. Tonight for dinner, we're gonna make tofu yaki bosh, which is really, really fun to say. Yaki soba is one of their favorite noodle dishes, and this is a healthy version. And bean sprouts are a great source of protein, vitamin C, and folate. I agree. Here's what I really like about this book. At the top in blue, the recipes, it tells you the items you need to make this. So like a tofu press, which honestly you could do without, as well as what kind of instruments you'll need, like a wok, a peeler, so you can get all that stuff out and ready. That's awesome. I don't know if I've seen that in a book before. So, but the other thing I will say they don't do is in the ingredients, they don't tell you how to prep those vegetables, but they do mention it in the instructions themselves. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press the tofu. It only needs to press for like 10 minutes. So while we're prepping the vegetables, that will press out all the liquid we needed to press out. One thing I want to flag about this book too is that you should always check the serving size because this one is 2, so we have to double everything. We are then gonna peel the ginger and we can just do that with a spoon, as I've mentioned before. And we're gonna cut that into very fine matchsticks, so we have like pieces of ginger. It says to peel and thin slice the garlic. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm probably just gonna run it through a garlic press because I'm starting this a little late tonight and I wanna get it done. Then we are going to prep the rest of the vegetables. So we're gonna get that chili sliced up. We're gonna take the seeds out and get it thinly sliced. We're gonna trim and thinly slice the scallions. Scallions? How did I miss that? I don't think we have scallions. Damn it! We also have to roughly chop the shiitake mushrooms.
Chop them.
Yeah, which we, how was the look for?
Yeah, it was not good. There was no shiitake mushrooms. Then I looked at oyster mushrooms. They didn't look so good. So I just got cremini. So it won't be as flavorful.
You gotta do what you gotta do. To make the stir fry, it tells you to heat canola oil, but we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna dry saute the vegetables because as we all know here, that's possible. And cook stirring for a minute until fragrant. Maybe we'll just add some onion in. It does say to add some sesame oil, which I'm probably gonna add a little bit in for the flavor of it. Then crumble the pressed tofu into the wok and let it sit for a minute so it browns. Stir for 2 to 3 minutes. Add the mushrooms, bell pepper, hoisin sauce, and serve for 2 to 3 minutes. To finish, we're gonna add the carrots and cook for another minute. We're gonna add the drained noodles, add the soy sauce, and toss. We're gonna keep cooking it, and then we're gonna add the bean sprouts on top and toss for 1 minute, and then serve it in a bowl. I'm looking forward to this. Like, this is very similar to things we've had before, but it's a little different. How is it?
I think it's pretty good.
I haven't taken a bite yet.
Pretty mild flavor. It's fine. I don't think I would ask for it again. But
The one thing I was thinking,
no, I don't not like it.
the thing I was thinking when I was reading this recipe and putting it together, I was like, oh, when do I put the sauce in? It's very lightly seasoned. It's like a C for me.
That's a B for me. I like vegetables a lot.
I mean, it's fine. It just doesn't have much
Tastes
flavor
like
at
the
all.
inside of an egg roll.
Yeah, okay. If you like that, and you want that for an entire meal,
Like a bean sprout egg roll.
I don't want that for an entire meal. So this is a C for me. If I had these for leftovers tomorrow, I'd probably add some stuff to it. I wouldn't just eat it as it is.
My mom used to make me egg rolls for dinner, and they were so good. It reminds me of the inside of that. So it has a good memory for me. So I'd say a B.
It barely has any flavor.
I know.
I don't know. Like a C has no flavor.
Annie?
Yeah.
Like it. What did you say it looked like?
A green bin.
All right, it's an F from Annie. Like, what if you added plum sauce to this? Okay, I got 2 options. I got plum and mango chili.
Neither are healthy.
Neither are healthy. Now, with 100% more plum. I was never one of those people that add plum sauce to things. I did not like plum sauce.
Egg rolls?
In general, I was like the kid that did not put sauce on anything.
What's the dip?
Instantly better. I'm putting some of the mango chili on now. It still doesn't make it something I'd ever make again. I'd say this like moves it up to maybe a B minus. I would eat this again if someone else demanded it. Annie asked me how hot is a green chili
There you
on its own, and I said, why don't you find out? And then she told me I had to do it too.
Cheers.
I will put it in my mouth 100%. I want to see you do it first. I'm not getting scammed. Put the whole thing in. Whole thing. 3, 2, 1, go. Where did it say on the package?
extra hot. Tastes like a pepper. I'm gonna try seed.
Like, do that. Oh, you didn't bite enough if it's not spicy for you.
I can feel it, but it's not that bad.
Oh, you didn't take as much as I did then.
I did. I got like 4 seeds. That's not gonna help. It's fizzy.
You didn't eat any.
Yeah, I did.
You did not, you liar! For tonight's dinner, we're gonna make these crispy tofu satay bites. As you well know, we have a pretty awesome tofu nugget recipe on our website that the kids love, that we love, that everyone really loves. This is a different spin on it. And I like it too because you don't have to do the breading process. It seems a lot simpler. What it calls for is you to press the tofu first. It uses this Thai 7 spice, which we don't have. What are the spices that are in Thai 7 spice?
Cumin, lemon powder, chili powder, garlic powder, ginger, mustard seed, onion, cloves. That's more than 7.
The spice is a lie. This is pretty simple. So after you press the tofu, you're going to rip it into pieces. You're gonna toss it in the Thai spice along with some turmeric, pepper, a little bit of salt, and then you're gonna add in a tablespoon of yogurt and fold to coat. The yogurt that we have right now is a little sweetened, I'm not gonna lie, but that's all we got. It's only a tablespoon. It's mostly just to make things stick. And then 1 tablespoon at a time, you're gonna put in 4 tablespoons of cornstarch and toss it around. Of course, this is where it tells you to spray it with cooking spray oil. We are not gonna do that, but you could. The book says to cook these for 325 for 25 minutes. We're using this air fryer, which apparently cooks things like 30% faster, so we're gonna check them after 20. Probably just toss them halfway as opposed to flipping them.
It smells so good cooking that my mouth is actually salivating. I'm so hungry and it smells really amazing, and it's only been in for 4 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna walk the dogs for half an hour.
Come sooner.
You think I'm gonna get this thing tired out sooner? Look at her. She could run for an hour and she'd still be fine. Let's go, Wuggies! Well, mommy makes the rest of dinner. You're in charge.
I'm always in charge. So I've been put on sauce duty, and I'm gonna whip it up as fast as I can. It looks like Jeremy forgot to buy limes, and so we only have this stuff and it's really low. So I'm not sure how this is gonna taste or be, but I'm gonna do my best. So here's what you do. Peel the garlic clove, squeeze the lime juice into a blender, and then add all the remaining sauce ingredients and blitz to make a creamy sauce. Sounds pretty easy. I'm gonna do it in our magic bullet. Kind of runny. So I'm not sure what I did wrong. I feel like I followed the instructions and my sauce turned out super liquidy. So I don't know what happened.
Later.
So I added more peanut butter and it's thicker now. Whoa! Oops. But it's still, as you can see, quite runny. So see what Jeremy, if he wants to add more peanut butter or leave it as is. Flavor tastes great.
Pretty good. Tastes like Thai stuff. Yeah, give it a B.
Nice. These look super crunchy and crispy, and there's like no oil in them, right? The answer's right. Ooh, on their own, like they have a nice tang to them. That sauce is great.
It's good. I like it. I like it all. I'm just so hungry.
Yeah, I give this, I don't know, this is like an 8 for sure. The sauce is really good.
Thank you.
I would use that sauce again for like a stir fry and other things. That sauce is great. Or like Indian, anything you want, like a peanut sauce. It's got a little kick, but not too much. I could spice it up a little bit, maybe.
It's all good. It's all tasty.
And I like this method of doing tofu. I haven't done something like this before. We toss in spices and then yogurt and then some cornstarch. That was really fast. And you could like swap those spices out with any kind of cuisine you wanted. For a little treaty snack thing, I'm gonna make these BAKEWELL BOSH balls. Is BAKEWELL like a brand of cookie? Is that what they're doing here? Being Yorkshire lads, we wanted to give the classic BAKEWELL tart a twist. So it's a certain flavor. These call for jam, And I just so happened to get sent 2 jars of this Poto Pure jam. What's cool about this company is that literally it's mostly just like there's no fillers or anything. It's 100% natural fruit. There's no added sugar, 0% added sugar. I will say they're not the cheapest jam in the world, but if you're the kind of person who wants to eat like a really clean jam without a bunch of added sugar and you don't want to make it yourself, it's probably your best bet. That said, I have no idea what it tastes like. Annie, this jam doesn't have preservatives in it, and so
we have to eat it really fast.
I don't think we should open both. Let's just open.
Strawberry!
Yeah.
Why is it so high up? I wanted to open it. You don't want it.
Look at it.
It's like chunks of strawberry. Let's like, cheers.
Cheers. That's really, really good. I don't get why you'd want loads of sugar if you have that. That's delicious. Did you rinse it so you could have more?
Did you not hear it?
Okay. Oh, there's chunks. Just look at that, eh?
Oh my gosh. It's not like blueberries. Can I try on one of these?
Tastes like strawberry.
Yay.
I think you should just dip food into it. That's delicious.
Excuse me, please.
I'll put a link with information in the description down below if you want to try to get some of this for yourself. Anyway, back to the Bakewell balls. Basically, you grind up the flour, and by the flour I mean you grind up the oats into flour, and then you mix everything into a bowl, and then you roll them in balls. And that's it. It's super simple. And they've got a couple different recipes for their balls in here. They've got a cookie dough BOSH ball, and they've got a brownie ball. But I thought the Bakewell ones would be fun because I wanted to use some of this jam in a recipe. So I read this wrong, and I didn't save the almonds for rolling in after. I just put them into the dough. So you can do that, although by the picture it looks like they're all just combined anyway. My one complaint about the instructions in this recipe is that it says to roll them into 15 equal-sized balls. What I would love is to know what that equal-sized ball is. I'm using a tablespoon, which is kind of a perfect size, but I don't know. Just a note to anyone writing recipes. Little things like that help you out. All right, want to try one of these things, Willie?
Yes, I do.
Come, Willie, come. What's it?
It smells almondy.
Yeah. It's mostly almond. It's like almond flour, almonds, almond extract.
Kind of what it tastes like. A ball of almond. That's fine.
But I think that's what probably Bakewell cookies are. They're probably like an almond cookie. I like the jam. The jam's like a really subtle flavor in there, but it's really nice.
You know what'd be cool? You like rolled it, like put the jam in and then rolled it on top.
Like we froze
It'd
it?
be like in the middle.
Like a Timbit?
Yes. Like a Timbit.
I'm not going to explain what a Timbit is. Those who know. And those who don't, guess in the comments down below, what is a Timbit? Want to try a Bakewell ball?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Oh, did you change your mind?
Is there walnuts in it?
No.
Is there
It's all almond based. There's like almond butter and almond flour and almond extract.
Nope.
So that's an F for you?
No, it's almond.
Annie's review is too much almond. I don't think we gave a rating to these, did we?
It's a B.
It's a B? I
I
wouldn't.
would eat it again, but I wouldn't beg you them or ask you to make them. Like if you made them, I would probably eat a couple.
I will happily finish these, but I wouldn't make these again. But if someone else did, I'd eat them. Because I'm lazy sometimes.
Which one?
Yeah, that one looks good.
It's alright. It's really dry.
Well, it's meant to be like an energy bite. They're kind of dry, right? How's the flavor?
It's okay. I'll give it like a B minus.
Well, they're in the fridge if you want them.
Alright.
Good post-school snack. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to make Not That Naughty burger with FRISBEE fries. That's hard to say. Not That Naughty burger. Not that naughty. This is the cover recipe. Cover image? What do you call that? I'm going to say for a burger, this looks complicated. You've got to make relish. We got to make the burger patties. We got to make like a mayo kind of sauce, I think. And the fries. The fries are easy. I also think a lot of this is going to come together at the same time. The patties at least cook on the frying pan, so I think that'll be quick. But There's some setup to this. You gotta cook beans in advance. You have to have cooked rice already. So I'm gonna be putting the rice in right now into the Instant Pot to cook while everything else is going. So first we're gonna make that smoky relish by peeling and dicing up the red onion, the garlic, the stem from the chili. Here's a tip for buying hot chilies like these red ones or green ones. Usually you get them in a pretty big package at the grocery store, and I don't know about you, we do not go through them that fast. So what I do is I stick them in my freezer, and when I need one or two, I just pull them out, I put them in the microwave for like 10, 15 seconds. And then what's great about that is you pull the top off, and then you can just push the seeds out like it's toothpaste. Maybe one or two stays inside, you get a little surprise, but generally speaking, I've had good success with it. So save money, save time, and don't burn your mouth off, maybe. We're gonna add the onion and a pinch of the salt to the skillets. Then we're gonna add the garlic and the chili and stir that for another minute. Then we're gonna add the tomatoes, paprika, tomato paste, soy sauce, or tamari. We're gonna stir those ingredients together and simmer them for about 15 minutes, stirring occasionally to prevent the relish from catching at the bottom of the pan. Then we're gonna add maple syrup and remove it from the heat and squeeze in some lime juice. Very curious about this relish. It's gonna be very hot right now, but, well, that's really nice. It's definitely got some spice. You don't want a lot of that, but a little bit of that in the bottom. It's gonna be really nice. That's gonna elevate the burger. And what I like about that is, you know, if you're gonna be cooking potatoes and other things in the meantime, that can be going on the stovetop. That's delicious. That would just be good in like a sandwich. Put that with like some hummus on a sandwich. Transfer to a bowl and set aside. Wipe out the pan. Peel the sweet potato and cut into 3/4 inch cubes. Put on one of the line sheets, bake for 30 minutes. Well, that's fast enough. Then we're gonna make the frisbee fries by slicing the new potatoes in discs. We're gonna use the mandolin for that. And then we're gonna coat them in the stuff that it says to coat them in. And then you bake those along with the sweet potato fries. Okay, so then we're gonna make the burger sauce by putting all the ingredients into a bowl and just starting to combine. That's easy. So that for the burger sauce, that's yogurt, sriracha, mustard, and red wine vinegar. And then to make the patties, so you put everything but the beans in the food processor, and then you add the beans, and you scrape down the bowl with the onion and mix everything together. What? And then instead of oil here, we're gonna be, well, here I might put a little oil in the pan just for cooking them. We're gonna divide the mixture into, it says 2 patties in the recipe. That's because this is for 2. We're gonna be doubling this for only 3 people because Wooly is away tonight. Mold them into patties and we're gonna cook them for 3 minutes on each side. And then to build the burgers, we're gonna spread a teaspoon of the burger sauce over one side of the bun. We're gonna put the relish on the bottom half of the bun. And then we're gonna put the burgers on top with some tomato slices. Close the lids of the burgers and plate them up. Take the fries out of the oven. Eat them.
Tastes like vanilla.
Vanilla?
Vanilla yogurt.
What? It's vanilla yogurt's in it, but it should try it.
Yeah, it tastes like vanilla yogurt.
It's got a nice little sweet, it's almost like a relish.
You put a little honey from.
Oh yeah, it does taste like vanilla yogurt. Oh yeah, it'll be good.
Fries are a little burnt.
I got my assemble burger. I put some mustard on because the burger sauce didn't taste like, I just need more mustard.
That patty's falling apart.
It's pretty good. It just tastes like bean dip on bun.
Has the relish, can you taste the relish?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah?
It has kick.
Get in there, eh?
If it didn't take as long as it took you, it would probably be higher.
So what is it?
It's probably like a B.
Okay.
Because I know this took you like an hour and a half or or more.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah? I found a bean burger Annie likes.
Not worth making.
It is worth making. 10 out of 10.
It's an S? Wow. Based on the time it took to make, unless you made them in batch and then froze them. Although I will say, like, the burger patties are strange because It was almost like cooking pancakes. Mmm. I can see why Annie likes this. That's so good. Annie's right. This is an S. Here's the thing. It's an S. I don't know if I'd ever make this again. This took a while. You know, I would make again that did not take a long time to make. That relish. That relish is fire. This is delicious. I know why it's on the cover, but it takes a long time to make. It's the highest grade I've ever given something. I don't think I'd make again. For dinner tonight, we're gonna make this Sunny Sri Lankan curry. I'm excited to make this because this is gonna be like a different curry vibe than I think we've had before. So that's gonna be fun. I don't know if Woolie's gonna give her feedback because she's not feeling great. So she's resting in bed, but I'll get her feedback and share it with you. So to start, we gotta break down a butternut squash by peeling it and then chopping it into like, you know, little cubes. We're gonna season that. They say to use oil. Obviously, we're gonna swap that out with our trusty aquafaba. And then we're gonna sprinkle that with just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we're gonna roast that at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. And in the last 5 to 8 minutes, they say to add about 2.5 tablespoons of cashews. Just to be safe, I might throw those into my air fryer so I don't forget to toast them up. That's just gonna go on top at the end. So if you want this to be nut-free, just omit them or just have them at the end and put them on for the people that can have nuts. Now, while that's cooking, we are gonna prep the rest of our vegetables. So you're gonna get the onions ready. You're gonna crush and dice up your garlic, your ginger. You're gonna remove the seeds from that chili. If you want to, if you like the little bit extra heat, keep them in. We're gonna heat up our wok, or if you don't have a wok, a large saucepan will do as well. And we're gonna start off by water sauteing our onions. They ask for banana shallots. I'm just using straight up onions here. And then after that goes for a few minutes and starts to soften, we're gonna add in the garlic, ginger, and chili and just stir that around for a minute. And then we're gonna add in our spices and the tomato paste. And we want this to all come together. And this is where the smells are just gonna start smacking you in the face in like the best way possible. Then we're gonna add in the peppers and stir for 1 more minute just to let them soften a little bit. And now we're gonna add the coconut milk, the water. And this is where it's interesting. It calls for some shredded coconut. Now, I know what you're saying. Coconut is high in saturated fats. We only use it maybe once a week in a recipe like this. And they even kind of point out the saturated fat in the recipe, which is why they and we are using a reduced coconut milk. So you still get the coconut flavor, still a vibe, but it's not as heavy in the unhealthy fats. So we're gonna turn up the heat on that and we're going to simmer that for about 5 minutes-ish, roughly. By that point, hopefully our butternut squash is ready. So we're gonna add some spinach in there, as well as the butternut squash. And then we're gonna squeeze in some lemon to give it a little something. And now you're gonna taste it and see what you think of it. So a small problem is this squash is not cooked all the way through. And I didn't check it before I poured it in. So we're gonna keep cooking this down and hopefully that does some of the job. I followed the instructions. I'll be honest, what does it say, 350 degrees? That seemed a little low for roasting. My instincts would have said to put it at 400. So I have to imagine this with a little bit of lime. Don't add citrus to your cooking until it's done cooking because the heat will destroy all of the nutrients and good stuff that you get from the citrus. You'll still get the flavor, but you'll potentially leach out the benefits of it as an ingredient itself. Hot tip.
Girl, so chill today.
Oh, Wooly, this will help your cold. This is really tasty. It's got a nice kick to it. It'll be even better once I add that lime to it. And like I said, it doesn't say to serve it with rice, but I'm gonna do that. And then you can top it with more shredded coconut if you want, and cashews. I'm probably just gonna do the cashews.
Spicy.
We can hear Willie. I'll just look at Willie's food. What do you say, Willie?
Spicy.
Oh.
I got excited.
Why can't I see Mom?
I don't want to be on the
She doesn't feel good. She just want to be on.
She looks good though.
Aw. It's spicy and it smells weird.
Yeah, it does. It tastes a bit weird.
There's so many curries in the world that it's like it has to be up there, you know? It takes a lot to be in the top tier of curries.
Fair enough.
And I don't think it's in the top tier, but it's
It's
good.
definitely not in the top tier.
It's a B, B plus.
I would put more.
I'm really
Lime
eating the
in this.
cashews.
It's too
Yeah,
spicy.
it's an F. I don't like the flavor. I don't like the spice. Ooh, more cashew.
There's an F for you.
It's an F for me. It's too
Yeah.
spicy and the flavor's weird.
I just find it to be a bit bland. I want more lime in there. A mango's a good idea, like something sweet.
Yeah.
Like this, or apple, right? Some apple in there. Something to break up. It's a bit one note. Like, I don't not like it. I think it's like a B for me. I'll be fine eating this again for the rest of the week probably, since no one else is eating it. But would I make it again?
The answer is no.
Apparently the answer is no. So for our final dessert in this book, I want to make the salted caramel apple crumble and custard. This almost feels like a combination of two of our recipes. We have this apple pie in a pan a la mode we make, and also we make a crumble. We have different names for it. A crumble, a crisp. What do you call it? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say crisp? Like a cherry crisp or an apple crisp? It's kind of the same as a crumble. What's unique about this one that made me want to make it is that as part of the crumble, it uses banana. So that's interesting. And there's a custard recipe here too, which is not something I've ever done with a crisp. So I'm excited to try that out. So how do we make this? Oh, I have to make milk. I'm going to use my milky plant. If you'd like a milky plant, I have a discount code in the link down below. Make your own milk. For times like this when you realize you're out of milk and you need to make some. Use the link, helps us out. So we're gonna start off by preheating the oven to 350. Then we're gonna make the crumble by peeling a banana, putting it in the bowl and mashing it up. Roughly chopping some pecans and adding the cinnamon. We're gonna swap out the oil here with aquafaba, maple syrup, and then we're gonna stir all that up. Add the oats. Instead of flour here, we're just going to grind up some oats and make like an oat flour to make it gluten-free. We're gonna add in the pecans, a little bit of salt, and then we're gonna probably use our hands to kind of fold it all together. It says to give it like a varied texture of large and small pieces. So it's kind of like chunks, like giant pieces of granola, maybe. To make the caramel sauce, we are going to pit the dates if you have to. Our dates are pre-pitted. We're gonna add them into a food processor with some boiling water and salt, and that is gonna make a caramel. Now we are going to prep our apples. It says to core and peel them. I kind of like them with the peel on. So I'm gonna leave the peel on. So we're gonna add the apples into the saucepan with a little bit of maple syrup and toss to coat. And then we're gonna add the water and cinnamon and place over medium heat and simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes, stirring occasionally just so that the apples soften up nicely. So now to build a crumble, we're gonna put the apples at the bottom of like a casserole dish. And then we are gonna add the caramel that we just made. It says an 8-inch square baking dish will do. Then we're gonna sprinkle the crumble on top. It says you might have a couple extra spoonfuls of crumble left over. Save them for your breakfast. So while the crumble is baking, we're gonna make a custard by putting cornstarch and water in a small bowl so it makes a slurry. Then we're gonna add half the milk and turmeric to the bowl and stir to combine. We're gonna warm the remaining milk in the saucepan over medium heat, stirring continuously until it reaches a little simmer. We're gonna add some more maple syrup and some vanilla extract and stir to combine. And then we're gonna gently pour in the cornstarch milk mixture into that pan and whisk constantly and cook for 5 to 7 minutes until the custard is thick and smooth. So I've been cooking this custard for about twice as long as what the recipe says, and I'd say this is still pretty runny. 6 minutes left until the crumble is done. It didn't say this needs time to cool and thicken though. It's supposed to be made at the same time, but I think it's supposed to have a few minutes to settle down. Kind of starting to thicken a little bit now. It's kind of getting thicker, but I don't know. I mean, the nice thing is this made a lot, so I could probably put this on my breakfast in the morning. That'd be good. All right, Bosh, let's see if you can end with a bang.
It tastes like it would taste really good. That's about all I can taste.
Okay, so no vote from Willie tonight.
Sorry.
Willie's got a cold and Annie's away. So it's just Eefy in my opinion tonight, potentially. Ooh, It's quite good. I think I would just want that custard to be thicker. Typically, we'd probably serve this with like ice cream, so the custard's a nice swap. I give it like a solid A. It's not an S. If the custard worked better, it'd be an S. It's an A.
Custard tastes like nothing.
Yeah, it's a little bland, that custard.
It tastes like I put like thick water on it.
It's got a little more flavor than water, but yeah.
If the custard was better, it would be an A, but it's a B.
I was kind of the same way. The custard was a letdown. But I like the custard idea, right?
But like, what the heck? This isn't even like thick or anything.
No, it did not thicken up.
It tastes like a normal crumble, basically.
Yeah. It's got banana in it.
I can taste that.
Yeah, it tastes good.
Yep.
So a B? So before I tell you what we thought of BOSH Healthy Vegan, I just want to send a little extra reminder about that Milky Plant plug I did. Literally, I would not have been able to make that recipe if I had not had that machine, because in that moment, I might have just given up on making that custard. But because I could just whip up my own plant milk just using water and any kind of nut or seed that I had within arm's reach, I could make milk within like 3 minutes. It's kind of a game changer of a machine, and you don't have to worry about all of the junk that's in milk. It's better for the planet. There's a million reasons why this machine should find a place in your kitchen. And if you want me to do a deeper dive on the benefits of plant milk and the horrors of the dairy industry, let me know in the comments down below, because maybe I'll do that video at some point in the future. But if you want to use our link in the description down below, Milky Plant's going to give you a sweet discount if you use our discount code and the links and all the stuff. So what did we think about BOSH Healthy Vegan? I'm going to be honest, when I went through the recipes here, I was really excited. But what I found out with the 6 recipes that we sampled, that it was a bit of a mixed bag. Stuff like the burger, which made that amazing tomato relish, which I'm definitely going to be remaking for sure. I don't know if I'd make the whole thing again, just because for a burger, it took a really long time. And not that I'm advocating having something like a Beyond Burger over a homemade burger like this, but I just don't know if it was worth the effort, because the taste was good, but it didn't blow my mind. Other things like the custard, like Ephraim said, it tasted like thick water, which is not untrue. It was kind of a real letdown. I was looking forward to that one. So I don't know. It's interesting. Like, obviously, we're only seeing a small sampling of the recipes in here. I saw a lot of possibility in some of them. I saw some great flavors in others. So it's not a straight up buy for me. I don't think so. But I think it's a really strong borrow. If you've got a library near you, chances are it has a copy of this book. So I would check it out for yourself to see if it's worth picking up. That said, if you're a huge fan of the Bosch brothers and you think we missed the mark and this is an absolute buy, consider using that link in the description down below, because it helps us out here on the channel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get more like this. Hit the like button to let YouTube know to share it with other people, and stick around because YouTube thinks that you want to watch this video next. In fact, they know it because they know you real well. I don't know how. I don't get involved in that side of YouTube. That's their own thing. I'm just over here in my little corner of the world making videos just for you.